Like, where were you born first of all?
Okay. Well, I gotta give my name first.
Oh yes, yes, your name.
My name is what is my name? And I just started when I called the prescription. They asked my name, and I told him Frank Franco.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Is that all?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Don't you have a nickname?" I said, "Well, no." And she said, "Well, you must have a nickname." And I said, "Well, I don't, but I don't think you want to hear my nicknames."
They had a nickname for you, my dad.
A bulldog.
Whoa.
And after I told him, well, in Spanish it's Kiko, Pancho, Francisco, Paco. He said, "I like Pancho better. I'll call you Pancho."
Pancho Villa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah?
So yes.
Okay, my name is Frank Franco, and 87 years old, and I was born in, I guess you would call it downtown LA.
Downtown LA,
Yeah, yeah. And at that time, I don't know if you guys know where Chinatown, I'm sure you know where it is. There was no Chinatown then. And I was like born across the street. In fact, I still remember the address was 848 North Broadway.
Oh, wow.
Broadway and College. And my mother died when I was born. So I was childbirth, yeah.
Okay.
And then I have an older sister, and so she's my half sister. So she took care of me and my two other brothers. And she took care of us till I was about 4 years old. And she met somebody and left us. So my father took care of us all this time. He never did remarry. He always worked, and I just gave him a lot of credit. Taking care of three kids and me only 4 years old. So he took care of me until he got married, and I was 14. It just we just all grew up around the neighborhood, which was Alpine. And and I think the majority of us kids were, what do you call it, single parents. Either they had a father or they had a mother. So I didn't have a mother in the neighborhood.
Tell me, I guess, one story that you remember of Alpine and growing up. Like,
what is Alpine?
What is Alpine to you? If, like, say no one knew what Alpine was, how would you explain it to them?
Well, in the first place, Alpine is a street.
Okay.
And they used to go from North Broadway up to Figueroa. So there was a lot of blocks there. And it seemed like everybody belonged. It started with North Broadway. And then the next street would be Yale. And that's where your father used to live, on Yale, and Frank, all those guys. But I was still in North Broadway. And after Yale came Bell Street.
Okay.
No, before Yale. Yale, and then Green. I can't think of the name. After Green came Grand, and after Grand came Figueroa. So there were little groups from each
one. Okay.
Each one, it's Cleveland.
Okay.
That was Yale, Cleveland, and that's where the majority of the Lojanes had lived in Cleveland and Alpine.
Something like that.
And as we were growing up, there was quite a few gangs. And those gangs were a little bit different. Each street was a little different. But once something happened, we would all get together and go fight, or whatever you want to call it. But Carl never participated. But I did. And I can name a few of the so-called guys that I still see. Remember Mike, the one I introduced you over there? His name was Manby. And he was like the leader in a sense, but he really wasn't the leader.
Of like the Alpine boys, or?
Yeah. We're all Alpine.
Okay.
We're all Alpine. And sometimes the guys from Cleveland would get together with the guys from Yale. Sometimes all of them would get together with the guys from North Broadway. And like I say, if there was something big, then
all of you guys
we would all get together and go. We used to call it raid. And
how did you guys get your nicknames? Each of you.
Well, my nickname for a while was Bulldog. And it all started like a joke. Okay, we used to hang around in the pool hall, so we were all outside. So this guy came. His name was Carlos de la Torre, I guess. Anyway, at that time, some shoes came out, and they had like a square. Maybe you remember, there was a square like a square shoe with a point.
Okay.
Then it would go over there, and then this guy came. He just bought them. He came over in the crowd, and I saw the shoes, and I told him,
Hello.
I said, "You look like a bulldog with those shoes." So they heard, and then they put the name on me. So that's the way nicknames came. Now, and then my brother, he was not a very good person, and they used to call him Fool. And why, I don't know. But as we grew up, after he was in jail, in and out, they used to call him the Judge. And that name stayed for a long, until he died. And Fucho, I guess Fucho came from Refugio.
Okay, so can you actually explain this picture?
Oh, the picture?
Or, like, say who's in the picture. Are these, like, people from Alpine or, like, related to you? Or?
Yeah, no, they're not related.
Okay.
Okay, this is a cousin. This is a cousin of your grandpa. And then this is me, Frank. And there's your grandpa. We used to call, at that time we used to call him Calipo. But I started calling him Carl after he got married, you know. And then this is Memo. And Memo, he came from a family of 8.
Oh, that's a lot.
And one girl. And out of the 8, there's only one girl. The girl is left out of 8. Okay. And this one, his name is Juventino. He was with, and we were in the same room, class one. But his real name is Hoover. That's how it stayed. Okay, this guy, he came from a family of 7. That's Lefty, the one that lives up in the hill. That's his brother. Well, he's here too. And this is Daniel Tiscareño. He had a mother. They had a restaurant in Overa Street, but he was from the crowd. Then this guy here, it was just like an acquaintance, but his name was, because he was in my wedding. And this guy's name is Jasper. And this guy here, that's Lefty. He came from a family. Him and him were our brothers, So they came from a family too, of a single parent, the mother. And he has a body shop in El Sereno, which is doing good. Now this guy's name is Black. He just has one brother and 2 sisters. That's not much I want to talk to him, to talk about him. And this is Raleigh, right here. Now he baptized my first kid, which was Frank. And his mother used to take care of me when I was small. This one, his name was Raleigh Arias. And right now he lives in Montebello and doing good, retired. But right here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are gone. This picture was my 50th anniversary. And these guys, no, not him. He was in my wedding. Okay, called Jasper was in my wedding. Lefty was in my wedding. Black was in my wedding. And yeah, that's about it. That was our 50th